you can see it. You can see the old, last time I mowed this way, and now it's this way. This pine tree is really hard on this section. This thing's huge. So it's really hard on this area. Looking back, when we cut the driveway in for the property, should have took it down, but didn't. So anyways, when you spin on the rear roller, if you're in the dirt, it digs it up a little bit, but not bad. If you do more of a 3-point turn instead of just kind of lean on the handle and raise up the front and pivot, it doesn't really do that. So the bag actually holds quite a bit of grass. It doesn't look very big, but it actually holds quite a bit. I only emptied it twice, and then the third time was just finishing, so it was a quarter full. So it does get a little dirty. It's got a wash port right there, but I don't know if they just didn't put it in, didn't come with it. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to find out to wash underneath. Runs very good, smooth. It is smooth. That Briggs, it's quiet. It's much quieter than my Honda was. So far so good. The self-propelled I didn't really use. I did try it out to see how it works. It's pretty smooth too. It was much better than my Aaron's, which I actually had to disconnect because it would like bind up. But again, it was 8 years old. Used to work good in the beginning. Definitely not as smooth as this. So really, you just have your throttle, your speed, your start, which you pull back, and then your self-propelled if you want. So it started on one pole. Seemed easy to start. The adjustment is this lever right here. You just pull it out and go whatever way. It was super easy. So let's try to get in here a little bit. Oops. So can't see much, but that's what the inside looks like. So, and then the bag hooks over those there and there, and it clips into the bottom rail too. It goes on kind of funky, but it works pretty good actually. So at first it's like it doesn't seem to lock on, but once you close that door, because the door closes on the top of this area here, it locks it in fully, no problem. So okay, talk to you later. Today is Monday, July 12th, I think. Just got done mowing with the Masport, the side hill here, the Rotarola. I believe that's how they say it. Camera doesn't pick it up. It actually looks a little better than what the camera does. I'm gonna, I don't know, scale 1 to 10. Is it worth the money? Probably about a 7. You know, it's expensive. It does mow good. The bagger works amazingly well. It'll be interesting when the leaves start dropping what it does with that. The self-propelled is okay. When you're not using it, the lever's in the way. It's kind of a pain in the butt. But it actually, when I use it to push up the hill, it pushes just fine. So the self-propelled is pretty good. But like I said, when you're not using the self-propelled, lever's in the way, it's a pain in the butt. Even though we got all that rain last week, you can see my driveway is washed out here. That's from all the rainwater going down there. It's still dusty. It's pretty dirty right now, but it mows. Yeah, it mows pretty good. I'm not sure it's worth the money, as I stated. So this is to start it. Just your normal push bar, obviously, and this is the self-propelled. So when you're mowing and you're trying to turn and stuff and you're pushing uphill, the self-propelled gets in your way, but that's the only time. So I guess maybe I'm making a bigger deal out of it than what it is. And this is $1,100, $1,200. So is it worth the extra money? I'm not sure. Not sure. Does mow good, does bag good. So I'll give it that. The Briggs actually is very quiet compared to my Honda that was on my errands. It was a cheap Honda, but it is pretty quiet compared to that. Throttle adjustment. I do throttle it down, didn't read the manual before I turned it off. Let it cool down a couple of seconds. So that's all I got for now. I'll show you the... Okay, today is Thursday, July 23rd, I believe. Right? Yeah, Thursday, July 23rd. It's been so hot, as you guys have known, as I complain in every video, but we've gotten, I don't know, probably a record rainfall for the month of July so far. Tuesday we probably got another, I don't even know, 3 inches, somewhere around there. And yesterday was cold, you know, it's been so hot. And Tuesday was a high of 65. Yesterday, Wednesday, was a high of, I think, 70, and today is 75. Perfect out, no humidity, 75. It's gorgeous out here right now. So I'm gonna try to get the mow on. I'm gonna mow the hill. Gonna go grab the Masport, which I'm really starting to like that mower. The self-propelled is very nice, which I don't normally like self-propelled, but I'm starting to like it a lot. So it's growing on me more and more, and I'll give you a little demo of it. Another demo. So we got the Rotarola all ready, primed to go. As I said, my first impressions of this were very mediocre. The more I use it, the more I like it. I really like the self-propelled feature, which I don't normally use, but I find myself using a lot. Not sure why that's wore off there, but so this is a self-propelled handle. The only downside to the self-propelled handle is when you're pushing uphill and not using it, you can see your wrist is like right on that. And it's not very comfortable as you're pushing uphill. So when you use it, it's pretty good. I think normally most self-propelled, this is the way you start it, and then this is your self-propelled. But this is not. This is how you start it. This is the self-propelled. So it's a little backwards from what I'm used to, but it's growing on me a lot. I use the self-propelled a lot more than I thought I ever would, because I almost never ever used self-propelled. But I'm probably using it 50% of the time now. Maybe a little more, not even, probably around there. So okay, we're gonna get to mowing here before we lose the sun. So although it's only, I don't even know what time it is, 6, no, 5, it's gonna be 5-ish. So got off a little early. So I don't normally recommend pulling out weeds, but our soil's so soft, I'm able to get all the roots. So these are probably my biggest weed. I can't think of the name right now, I'll look it up. But this is probably the biggest amount of weed that I have, with this being the second. Be the second, and then clover, and then after clover it would probably become poa and crabgrass and such. mentioned it in other videos, so I want to restate it now. The way that bags, I don't know how, but it lays, when you look in the bag, every grass blade is laying down. It's laying flat. On my old errands, I mean, it would pack it full, but they would be all intertangled, and I'd have to empty it 3 or 4 times, and it would be packed. Doesn't make sense to me. This one, I can mow this whole area and empty the bag once at the end. So, I don't know. It does a better job at it. Okay, we got it mowed, the side hill here. Not sure how anything is going to show up with the sun in front of the camera, but we'll poke around down there and check it out. Just wanted to see if I can show you how that grass just lays down in the bag. So I can't do this with one hand though, so let me see if I can tip this down. Woo, look at that. So it's rather simple. The metal guard hooks over the bag. So you lift that up. Yeah, I got it too full. And cut too many weeds here. But if it's normally grass in there, you can kind of see it. Maybe. Let me bring the bag up there before I hit all the weeds. When it's grass, you can see how it lays down. It's all laid down, that whole bottom area. Hope it shows up in the camera, but from here down, so I got a little too full. Okay, let's see if we can get some of these stripes to show up. Again, with the Masport, as you can see, I still have issues working on. You can see the light patches of probably POA or something. I got quite a few on this hill here. I just redid this hill about 8 years ago, killed it off, put down full Kentucky blue. It looked great for 3 years, and then weeds and stuff started to come back in, and I got a little lazy on the yard work. I don't know what those are. Mushroom of some sort. So Boy, that camera does not like it down here. It's dark for it. So the stripes usually look better on the camera, but I'm gonna honestly say that is not the case here. The stripes look better in person. They look way better in person. They look kind of hideous on the camera. So, not bad this way, but again, it looks better in person. I smell skunk. So, but oh, there, the camera's kind of picking up here. You can see all the light patches. There is several on this hill. I can't tell, actually that might be the sun poking through right there, but this is not sun. And I'm not even sure, I don't think it's, I don't know what it is. The camera keeps moving. I'm not sure this is even POA. Oops. So that's what this grass is. Oh, there's a piece of fertilizer. See the blue? But that's what these light color patches are. I'm not sure if it's POA or not. That's one thing that I never invested a lot of time in, is researching weeds. I probably should, because it'd be easier to get rid of stuff if I actually knew what it was instead of just putting herbicide on it willy-nilly. So, but I have not I have not put herbicide on this hill all last year. Sorry, there we go. So I have quite a bit of this in certain areas of the lawn. If you work it, you can kind of work it out like that, but it spreads. You'll find that one clump, you know, has several, I forget what these are called. I used to know. But the weeds usually, or the roots usually come out pretty easily with it, unless the grass is really dry. But you just kind of work it back. It's amazing how far. Yeah, see, that one broke. Hopefully the rest of this will get it. Nope. So I don't know that I'm ever going to be able to to do it, but I need to get a camera with a wide aperture, like a 2.0 or something, so that you can get a good view of everything. So the more I use the Rotarola or the Masport, the more I like it. The mow quality is good. The striping is okay at this point. I think part of that is because I'm cutting the grass too short. It's been mowed long for a long time, and yeah, I think I'm just mowing it too short. So I have raised the height a little bit to see if it's going to stripe a little bit better. But other than that, it cuts great. The self-propelled, I really like it. I usually do not like self-propelled. As you know from earlier in this video, I did not like the self-propelled. I still don't like that it's the back handle. I wish it was the front handle, because then it doesn't get in your way so much when you're not using it. But it is what it is. It's quiet. It mows good. That self-propelled I'm really starting to like. So the more I use it, the more I like it. So I think in the beginning, when I was judging it, when I first got it, I just wasn't used to it. So I wish it was wider. It just seems to cut so narrow. It's a 21 inch. It seems like it cuts like an 18. The wheels in the front are close together, so the stripe is small with the rear roller because the rear roller is not as... Okay. So the roller is not from there to there. It's from like here to here, which it matches up basically with the front tires. Probably closer to the middle of the front tires is where the roller is in the back, and that's where it stripes. So usually the tires on a mower are closer to the outside, like on my old Aaron's. So as you can see, the wheels are right at the edge of the mower deck. So when that does stripe, it gets in a full stripe of the mower deck. Where this stripe is where the front tires are. So you can see that's probably 1.5 inches on each side. So it's a 3-inch smaller stripe. So that's probably my biggest complaint. Biggest complaint of this mower now is the size of the stripe. So I'm gonna set the camera up and we're gonna get mowing. Okay. Not sure how much I'm gonna be able to get mowed tonight. It's cloudy and it's sprinkling right now, so I'm gonna get the mow on and try to get this area mowed. I'm gonna mow it a little bit taller. I don't even know what height. Probably 2 inches right now, so I am probably cutting it at about 1.5 inches. But I think tonight I've raised it up, so I think I'll be about 1 3/4 inches. So, all right, here we go. Yuck! I'm not going to pretend like I don't have a lot of it over here, because I do. Okay. Over halfway done here. Set the camera up right in the way so you can see all the lovely lime green spots. So, doesn't stripe too bad. I did cut it a little longer and it does stripe better, so, which we all know makes sense, but it'd be nice to get some short grass striping over here. I just haven't been able to do that yet. Green, fluorescent green, fluorescent green, fluorescent green, fluorescent green. So there's a lot of patches. So they come and they go. That's the weird thing. I'll have a big patch. There was a big patch of it right here. This patch here, which is probably about 21 inches, a little more than 21 because it's a little wider than that stripe. But it was huge before. It's smaller. So the Kentucky's running it out, but then the Kentucky must get weak in some spots and then takes over again. So, but still got work to do down there. I'm gonna try to get some mowing done